As we all know, Scotch is the superior whiskey. It's simply an undisputed fact that the Scots make it best. Now, you may not think so, especially listening to this podcast, because we like to talk about all sorts of whiskey, but let it be known, me, Zach, am declaring Scotch to be the best whiskey out there. Better than the Japanese, better than the Americans, better than the Irish, and now better than the Indians. So, let us get into this wonderful world of peated Scotch in this special episode of the Extraordinary Gentleman podcast. Thank you for listening.
Don't do it.
Today we have Carter, as always, Dylan, as always, and Brooklyn returning for a number of time. What is this, third, fourth?
At least four.
Four, yeah. Action.
He's got
Today,
some teeth.
we got some special ones to try today. One, is that a committee release, Ardbeg?
Yeah.
Or is it the regular?
Allegedly.
Allegedly a committee release Ardbeg
Allegedly.
from recent times. We've got a Belvini Double Wood.
No.
That's a peat week.
No, sorry. Pete week of Pete, right?
Yep.
My bad. We got which laphroaig is that?
This is a laphroaig National Treasure.
National Treasure.
What?
No, it's just National Treasure.
It's just Nicolas Cage.
It's
with his face
it's
labeled on a
special
bottle.
laphroaig to the friends of laphroaig.
Mm-hmm. And to kind of conclude things, we're going to have a little peat off with
Beat the peat.
Yep. With a single distillery's options. We got two Octomores. We have the 10.4 and the 11.1.
Correct.
And we're going to compare those two to Bruichladdich Port Charlotte 10-year, 50%.
Special Scotch lined up event.
Yeah, this is
today.
I mean, I'm a huge peat fan. I'm a huge smoke fan. I like things to bite back. This is going to be wonderful.
I buy it.
Oh, and we also have laphroaig 10 to throw in there just for some other comparisons too. So, to get started, and which one do we want to start with?
Well, I guess mine's
Scorched.
sorted by alcohol right now. So
Okay.
the Scorch is the lowest. I think with the exception of the laphroaig 10, but the laphroaig 10 is a comparison to the other laphroaig.
Yeah.
So
I would
Laphroaig.
say either Scorch or the Belvini.
I want to start with
let's do the
Scorched.
Scorched.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is correct. This is the limited edition.
Are we talking about cost at all?
We will factor that in
Okay.
a little bit. Carter, maybe if you want to try to attempt to find some of the... Oh, he's saying you're too far away from your microphone.
Oh, I thought you were telling me not to.
No, I'm not talking about shut up.
I was like, I'll fight you.
No,
I'll fight you.
no, I wasn't
So
trying
you
to.
don't tell me not to talk.
No, I was trying to tell you that your microphone was too far away.
That makes more sense.
Makes more sense. So yeah, Carter, would you mind trying to find the MSRPs on some?
Yeah, I
some
would.
of
I'm
these?
very offended.
All right. So this, we're starting with the Ardbeg Scorched.
I thought that was Wee Beastie from here.
It is a similar design. I mean, all the Ardbegs are a little similar, but yeah, this is more similar than most.
Because what's the pricing on Scorch versus Wee Beastie? Because
So
the whole thing with Wee
most-
Beasties, it's like very affordable.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like in scratching the surface at 40. I think sometimes
Yeah.
you can find them in the high 30s
That's what I mean.
or low 40s.
Like, because what's this cheaper, like peated Scotch you can really
Laphroaig
buy?
10 would be probably the
Yeah.
ballpark.
Can you?
of
How
that.
much is Laphroaig 10?
36
Really?
or less? Yeah.
Wow, I'm spoiled.
I mean, it's good.
And it's-
We all-
I didn't
we
realize
love
it was that
Laphroaig.
cheap. I always thought it was like
Yeah.
at least in the 50s.
Yeah, well, all the Laphroaig products are quite tasty, and we compared Ardbeg 10 to being the basis for all of Ardbeg's lineups going forward.
Oh, yeah.
Or the Ugadol, the Correcken, and probably a lot of their committee releases. Same with Laphroaig 10. It's a base. Obviously plays into their Laphroaig lore. Obviously plays into the Laphroaig quarter cask, like that's... The foundations are all laid in these 10-year examples of these.
They're the
distilleries.
pinnacle. They're the ambassador of that line, so to speak. I mean,
And
that's their main flavor profile.
We're thinking about in the future doing a teaser. This is a teaser for another episode about what is the ambassador whiskey for each Islay distillery. Right? We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that maybe at the end or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Ardbeg Scorch, there's community releases. There's always 2 editions of a community release. There is the more exclusive one that's usually higher proof, a little different logo design. You have to be a committee. So you will find some of them, I think, on the shelves, but this is the more widely available, a little bit proof down, more available edition of Scorched. This is 46%. It is secondary charred barrels, very heavily charged, it says. Matured in heavily charged casks, toasted cloves, whiskers of peat smoke, interlaced with thick clouds of wood and sage. Discover the layers of flavor in the fire-breathing beast of a dram. So this is a totally legit fire-breathing dragon that lives at Ardbeg.
Totally legit.
Yep. So we're going to go around and pour this.
It's the dragon from Shrek.
Cork pop.
You
Yeah.
got goofed. It's about 120.
Proof, really.
No,
the
for price.
That's pretty good though. Well, the proofed up version, the regular one, is 200, right?
No,
No,
140.
that's it.
It's
Really?
worth getting the more exclusive version.
Right.
If you could find
If
it.
you could find it, yeah. Well, because I'm just thinking about that Ardbeg we had. That was $230.
But there wasn't another version of that.
Ooh,
one.
that's
Are
poopy.
you sure?
Yeah, there was only that one.
Okay.
Wait, the pirate one was
Yeah.
that much?
Yep.
It was
I don't remember it being that expensive.
expensive.
Don't, because I felt like I almost bought it, but I wouldn't have not
It
even.
was like It was $190, I think.
Oh,
At least.
it's rough.
Very glad I
this
didn't buy it
smells
then.
just great.
Yeah. So
This
heavily
is-
charged barrels, finished in that, I believe. I don't know if there's any sherry influence on this one, but
Yeah, we'll see.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, right off the nose, I'm getting a pineapple vibe. Do you get pineapple at all?
I don't have the cork.
Yeah, I have the cork. Sorry.
That's all right.
I am offended.
So no pineapple from you guys?
So I
No,
might be
I
a
can see
bad
it. It's
one
like a
to
smoked pineapple.
smoke pineapple. I'm bad to pull it out because I spent the past 3 hours trying to perfect a pineapple margarita. So all I taste is pineapple.
I see.
I did try to cleanse my palate, but I feel like it's still tainted. I'm sorry.
So
That's-
I
that's
feel
all
like I have to validate myself because I have the facts in front of me for
Yep.
my statements. This is matured in heavily charred ex-bourbon casks. So, yeah.
I mean, obviously it tastes char. I mean, it tastes like charcoal.
Oh yeah.
Does I do honestly get the pineapple though. Smoked pineapple char, heavy char. So it's like if you had a pineapple pizza that was like cooked too much.
It's like burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a burnt pineapple pizza. Which doesn't sound appetizing, but for some reason,
It
like
does
it
sound-
makes me like kind of hungry.
Yeah.
I think when I had this, because this is mostly full, but I had cracked into it.
Oh, that's good.
I think I did come to the decision that this is just a more oak-heavied version of the 10.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree. Actually, the 10 actually is, if you can believe
Very
it.
light and fruity.
Yeah, but I was going to say, if you can believe it, the 10 actually is smokier than this.
Okay.
If you get rid of the char. If you deleted the char from this, there's less smoke than the 10 has. Which is kind of, it's weird.
You kind of get the wires crossed between char and smoke. Like you kind of think they're the same thing, but they are two distinct, different flavors. Yeah, because I think Zach's on a point there to say like when you actually pay attention to it, there's not actually that much smoke in comparison to
Right.
other
But
whiskeys.
it tastes like
Right.
it because it's charred.
The char
Extra
kind of
char,
like
yeah.
takes over,
Ooh,
which is a similar flavor, but not
Yeah.
the same.
dude,
I
I,
think-
haven't had.
I think they
nice
nailed it. I
Smoky
mean-
whiskey in forever.
Yeah. I think they nailed this. At least, I mean, maybe they called it Scorch.
Let's be honest, though, the worst Ardbeg that we've had
It's the art.
is still
I mean, it is.
it's still fantastic, right? It's just the value is not there.
No, the value's not
But
there.
it's still-
But like,
It's still really good.
I don't know. Like,
I really
It was.
didn't
I thought
like
it was just great. I
Ardbeg.
thought it was all right.
Like you didn't like it?
I didn't like it.
Really?
Like it. I just thought it was like very okay.
You ever
Well,
have?
I still got the open bottle. We'll let it mellow out a little more. It was already mellow, but we'll let it smoothen. and
I
see
think
if
I would
we'll
like
come
to go
it
back
later.
and I'd like to go
Yeah,
back
we'll
and
do
try
that.
it.
We could probably do an episode of just re-reviewed and see if we like it again.
Yeah. Brooke would do
That
it.
and also I've started to set bottles away that are like I could finish this on my own. That I've been saving that we need to I think do a bottle kill episode.
Yeah.
Just so we had an opportunity to review them before they're either gone forever or we have to spend X amount of money
get it
again
again.
to get
Yeah.
it. If we can
Yeah.
get it again.
If we could find one.
But
Brooklyn, you had a thought. You were saying something that we cut you off.
Oh, I was letting you guys finish. I didn't want to be. I'm the visitor here, so I don't want to.
Yeah, you are the guest.
I am the guest,
of
so I
honor.
don't want to overlap everyone else. And I was trying to Google what the name of it was, but like Vicks vapor kind of things. Like you ever
Oh, yeah.
have, you know, like every time I have like a smoky whiskey, that's what it reminds me of. It's like when you have those
Menthol?
things. What
Reminds you of menthol?
is that? What it is?
That's what's in
menthol. I associate that with like a menthol cigarette though, and I'm like, I know I haven't smoked.
No,
I think I have.
That's like what's in Vicks Vapor Rub is like menthol.
Yeah, but do you ever get the tube that you like sniff?
Oh,
You know
I
what I'm talking
you're
about?
about? I think so. Yeah.
Because that's always like what that every time I smell or taste smoky whiskey, the aftertaste of that, not right away, but like that like what it leaves your tongue feeling like, and I'm like, oh, it's that. And I just remember this one time I had like a really bad like stuffy nose. I don't know what I had, but then my
Right.
dad bought me some of that, and I'd smell that, and it's weird. Every time I taste smoky whiskey, I just think of that.
Interesting.
I like it. I think
we're good.
let's go to value propositions. There's 120.
No,
Sorry,
there isn't value proposition. I'm going to say it right now.
I'll be honest, I kind of wish I didn't know how much it was. Because if I thought this was the Wee Beastie, because at first I was thinking it was in that realm, I'd be like, that's really good. But now that I know it's 120, I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
bad, but I'm like, I don't know if I'd pay that.
And I think that's the stance I would take is, as a normal casual Scotch drinker, this is good. I appreciate it. I'm not going to buy this. But this is me. I adore
Ardbeg.
Ardbeg.
Yep.
I am an
Ardbegian.
Ardbegian. Yep. So yeah, it's not a rational purchasing decision.
Yeah. I think this almost justifies it with how unique it is. I've never had one as char. I mean, no one specialized in char, as far as I know. Especially double char. That's what it said, right?
No, heavily charted.
I'll just heavily
Mega
charred.
char.
It's just. Maybe we'll just find some more comparables later in our whiskey career.
You
but-
really want
you gonna
those
eat those
Reese's?
or not?
What?
Just take if you're gonna have some, just open them rather than crinkling the package.
Ooh, ASMR.
So I would. I mean, yeah, you can't really. None of the Ardbeg committees you could say.
You're talking over this? You're gonna talk?
Yeah,
over
I am.
It's done. It's done.
Yeah.
Are you
Not,
talking
you're still gonna
over-
eat from it the whole time.
I'm not the whole time, no.
Just
You're
like
talking over this.
95% of it, with a 5% being when you haven't opened it.
They're kind of
before.
melty.
It's hot in here.
Zach brings up a good point. We should turn on the AC.
Anyway, I'd probably spend as a regular Scotch drinker like 75 just to try this because of having had it.
If it wasn't the rarity, and they
Oh, is it rare?
Yeah.
This is a limited once a year thing.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I guess I should explain. We didn't do that. The committee release for Ardbeg is a yearly event where they usually host a festival at the distillery, and then they'll release a once a year. It's always a different committee release. There's two versions: a higher proof, and then a lower mass marketed, more widely available edition of the same thing. This is the more widely available one.
Okay.
Every year it's different. Sometimes you get lucky enough where they actually keep it and then make it part of their core range. Ugadal, Corey Reckon are former committee releases that were made into the permanent lineup.
So they kind of experiment, see what hits, and when
Yeah.
hits, they kind of like, okay, this is what we're gonna
And
keep around.
That's why it's more expensive. It's an experiment.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard of one that's nobody's liked. There's always ones that are slightly better, but for the most part, there's none that are like, this one's terrible, don't buy it, avoid it, like whatever. They're all good, but they're all different. But that's what I like, is they're all different. They're not similar.
Yeah, they didn't try, and every year they're gonna try something different.
I think I cut over Carter though, seeing what he thought on the value point of it though.
Carter, we haven't heard you speak a whole lot. What do you have to say about this?
Meh.
Meh. Value
Value.
good.
No, I would.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Dylan. I would spend the money for it, just because
As a fan of it, but
Yeah.
not. But what
As
would you
a-
think a casual drinker, like someone that's
It's a collector piece.
Yeah.
That's kinda
that's
what
what,
you're
it
getting
is.
to, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But like it, as far as just the value of what's in the bottle, where do you stand?
like, how much do you think? How much do I personally think I
Yeah.
would spend on this? 65, $70.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's reasonable.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like a really pretty card that you want to collect, but you're not going to use it in TCG.
it's got a PSA 8 or 9. Like it's,
That
gonna
is
be
such a
like-
specific.
That's what it is, though, right?
That is such a specific.
You like it, you appreciate it. It's going to be in your binder with all your other ones, but you might not use it in a tournament because it's not actually that good.
Yep.
And in the game,
This
but it
is,
doesn't make you not like it.
this is my
true.
Buzzwall GX.
I printed a Lola 9
Oh, that was-
I remember
Stupid as
that.
crap.
I love that.
Well, I mean, we're just playing the game. It's not like we're going to a
I
competition.
know. But
Cheater.
Cheater.
Forever cheater.
I mean, the card was $35. All right, let's move on.
I want that.
Scorch is
Pete
sweet.
Week.
We like it, and
It's
it's
good.
it's unique.
Sweet. I didn't get the sweet.
One
No,
day.
I guess sorry. I meant sweet in my
Cool.
my Midwestern way of speaking.
Oh,
They're
that's
sweet.
sweet.
Midwest Scorch is unique and
Maybe it made
this
me
is-
taste it again. You saying that though, I
Yeah.
was like, it wasn't sweet. I gotta try it again.
Let me use a Zach word. It's tantalizing.
Yeah, there it is. Tantalizing.
Tantalizing. One day I will visit Ardbeg. Let it be known.
Tantalization of the taste buds.
All right, cork pop.
Porp. Meh.
This is the Belvini
I like the little
week of
splash afterward.
peat, aged 14
That splish
years.
splash. That glip glop.
Splash in the bag.
The glip glop.
Get that gush gush.
That glip glop.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Oh, I didn't. Oh crap! I didn't see the. I didn't see the bottom
Yeah,
of the
it's-
glass.
It's a different style of glass, so it's sneaky.
Brooklyn strategically chose the optical illusion glass.
Yeah, exactly.
Equal
That's
more whiskey.
dangerous.
Whiskey modifier.
That's like an ounce
+1.
whiskey modified.
Illusion 100.
So Belvini, you would probably know him. You'd be familiar with him with the double oak or whatever. Usually a sherry finished Scottish distillery. Once a year, during 1 week, they do a peated run, and it is highly sought after by everyone.
Muy delicioso.
I have something I want to talk about. I don't want to talk about it right now, but when it's my turn, remind me to talk about the boundary waters.
Okay.
It does pertain to this. Just
So-
bring it up later.
This is an experiment with the Belvini profile using what he had learned from the recent trip to Islay. Distillery manager Ian Miller ordered a batch of Speyside peat for the clen. For a week a year, the Belvini distills a batch of peated malt, resulting in a whiskey rich in honey, vanilla, citrus notes, with an extra layer of delicate smokiness. It is story number 2. 48.3% alcohol, non-chill filtered. Yeah.
It's really good.
That's really good.
Yeah, Lane has this one too as a gift, but
Whoever gave this to him, you are beautiful.
yeah, he is
It's
a
a good
beautiful
gift.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is just one thing that they do. This isn't like a yearly release.
No, I think it is a yearly release.
Oh, it is.
Once a week out of the year, they distill peated malt, bottle it, age it, and then send it on its way.
It's super interesting because that has
Ooh,
way
it's
more honey,
peppery.
way more honey, and way more sweetness than any other peated whiskey I've had.
Well, it's a Speyside peat. It's not an Isla peat.
Oh,
Peat-
is that why?
Peat 100%. I mean, we just had
Irish Pete.
we just had an Irish peat.
Eilerish.
Billy Eilerish.
An Irish peat, and peat is completely different from where the region is. Westland is actually trying. I don't know if they had released anything with Washington peat. I believe they were successful. I don't know if they released anything using that peat, but they're still using source peat from Scotland. But peat does have unique flavors in relation to where they are from.
It's
So
sometimes it's hard.
that goes into what I had to say. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it up because that pertains directly. Have you guys heard about the Boundary Water fires?
Which ones?
Yeah.
From before?
No, like right now.
Yeah.
Apparently, why they're burning so bad is there's a peat bog in the Boundary Waters
Oh, I
that's
believe it.
burning.
It's awesome. It's terrible. but
That's
it's
awesome.
And
Yeah, let's
my
burn
first
them.
thought when someone told me that,
We need to
because
go
I'm
through some
associated,
barley on that.
I said that to a guy and he looked at me confused. And I was like, oh, it's like a whiskey thing. And then I explained to him, you guys. And then he was just like,
that's another T-shirt. It's a whiskey thing.
it's a
Ooh,
whiskey
that's a
thing.
trademark.
Trademark.
We got 3 T-shirts ideas, 3 podcasts.
It's a whiskey thing. Yeah, so they were talking about like that there's these peat bogs. And I was kind of thinking, I'm like, what if you could use the peat from the Boundary Waters and market that
Right.
as a Minnesota single malt? You had a Minnesota single malt with peat from, but I doubt they'd let you take that out of there because that'd be like,
It is super hard to get peat, harvest peat in the United States. Westland may be one of the first. They're one of the first. I don't know if they're the first, but the hoops you have to jump through because it's
well, especially out of like a national, what is that, a national forest technically?
probably, I would imagine.
The Boundary Waters
the
recreation
Boundary Waters,
area?
yes.
That's like protected land.
Well, there's state
Is that
park.
part of Voyagers?
Yes, that's what I was trying to
Voyagers
think of.
National Park?
But there's another one too that it's national forest.
Superior National Forest.
Yes, yep, that's what it is. So I mean, yeah, that you're talking a state basis and then a federal basis. It's just harder. I mean, Scotland has its roots developed in whiskey, so they've grown up with literally governments have risen around them doing this tradition, so it's not like that hard to do it. But here, yeah, you kind of the hoops you have to jump through. So it would be really interesting to be a distillery in Minnesota using Minnesota peat bog. But peat is the second largest covering on Earth, just behind the oceans and water.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
What?
there's more peat on the Earth than anything else.
Than people.
That's because all of the frost or the tundra, but the permafrost. The permafrost, that's all peat underneath.
Right.
What?
Yep, that's all peat
Okay.
bog.
Interesting.
So the good news is
We're gonna have
Earth warms up.
We're gonna have some
We get more
geologists
peat.
be like, well, actually,
Yeah.
the world is.
Did you
it's
know
a
they
different
sell
kind of
sell
moss.
it at Home Depot?
Pete?
Yeah, peat moss.
Really?
It's like a fertilizer.
Yeah,
Miracle Grow.
that's gonna be real tasty.
Let's smoke some of that over my
I tell
barley.
you what, it's very hot.
Yeah.
Why is this burning hotter than it's
Why
supposed
is
to?
this burning like my appendix?
I bet that's got like chemicals in it.
Oh, I bet.
That'd be
bet-
good
I
for
bet lots of
whiskey.
money.
It's good for your bones
It's good for your bones. It's got a lot of calcium in it.
and like mercury or something.
Yeah. So I was saying about this Belvini that it's hard to when you read the adjectives and descriptors in the back of the bottle, it's hard to see past those, because you're looking for those. And then once you find them, you're like, yep, that's it.
Yep.
But
This to me is more peppery, and what came in my head just now is this is not as oily and dense as an Isla. Mm-hmm. This is crisp, clean, refreshing smokiness, pepper, not heavy, saturated rubber iodines, brine.
yeah, It is oily, but it's not like
Not
it doesn't have the
Isla.
predominant flavors.
Yeah.
It's not briny. It's not. Yeah.
I think the
iodine.
oil I would describe
Meaty.
as like an olive oil, like a vegetable sweetness or something
Something
like
light.
to it.
Yeah, something
light. It's not like I don't know.
Extra virgin.
This is
olive
48%.
oil.
This does not drink like a 48%.
Extra virgin olive oil. It's
Yeah,
not.
I like this a lot. I think they should do at least 2 weeks of peat, if not a month. A month of peat a year.
A threep of peat.
A three
Peat.
trimester.
Try.
That's good. That's good. I
Like
think
a
that
lot.
was about 100. How much? Can you look that one up while we start the next one?
I want to take more, but I'll save it for the next one.
So here's the question: do we do laphroaig 10? I think we do laphroaig 10
10
because
first.
yeah, the alcohol
Sure.
content's lower.
Sure.
I'm saving my last glass just for the Octomore.
Okay. Oh, that is completely different.
I like the Belvini. I would.
That
buy
is good.
I would buy that. The Scorch probably wouldn't buy it. Belvini, I'd buy that.
the
That's
Ardbeg
me
is,
personally, though.
Well,
That
the
doesn't
Ardbeg
mean
is
it's not
similar to a lot of other things. The Belvini is very unique.
I'll at the same time, like if I was looking at the bottle, Ardbeg, 100%.
Looking at the bottle.
I was looking
Ooh, green.
doing this.
Green, red. Wait, like just look at that. It looks so extreme. It's like metal. It looks
Yeah.
super metal. Belvini,
So
it's
metal.
like hoity-toity, white collar businessman.
Hoity-toity.
All right.
Well, like the
Cork
fact that
pop.
they're similar.
Cork
oh, sorry.
pop.
That was a wet one.
Ooh.
Squeaky.
The fact that they're similarly priced, you know, like if you're gonna bring one to impress somebody, I think the Belvini would impress someone by the bottle because somebody would look at that Scorch bottle.
You would
and be
have to
like-
explain the Ardbeg,
You'd have to explain.
and
the
that's not
Ardbeg
cool.
to someone who knows zero
Yeah.
about whiskey. It's like when we go to certain people's house and they're like, "This is a really good Scotch, we really like it," and you find out it's like a $50 Scotch
Yeah.
from Kirkland.
Yeah, well, the layman really like $70 is the most expensive the average person will spend on a bottle of whiskey if they're even into whiskey, right? It's still not even a
We're
layman's
talking about
drink.
a guy in $1 million home with a $100,000
Yeah.
car. We're like, you should know better than this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they don't want to give out Whistle Pig 10.
Yeah.
It's like, nah.
But that Belvini though.
110.
This is
What is
is this
that?
a limited edition
Belvini.
Laphroaig? What's the full title on the Laphroaig?
This is just a
Laphroaig
Laphroaig 10.
10.
We're not drinking this one yet.
Oh, that's okay.
This-
I missed that. Okay,
what
there's
we have
two
in our
bottles of
glass-
Laphroaig on the table.
Yep.
Okay.
What we have in our glass is a comparison for the bottle that's up next.
What the heck?
What?
Just, I'm looking at the two
Well,
different.
That's a green bottle. First
no,
of all.
I understand that.
The Laphroaig 10 is going for that Ardbeg marketing that I was mentioning before, and the other Laphroaig is going for that Belvina marketing
So
we had
Laphroaig's an
before.
older company, I think, than Ardbeg is.
It is.
He's comparing just the bottle.
I'm just
Oh,
saying the
yeah.
bottles.
Well, I'm-
Oh yeah.
And I'm just
Like-
kind of like, because I love Laphroaig 10.
Yep.
I love
It's
Laphroaig.
yum.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like,
Pour yourself some Laphroaig, and then you can talk about how much you like it.
What is the
No.
reasoning on the green bottle? Is that just like
U-
is that a
UV light.
preservation thing?
Really?
UV light. That's
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Think of beer.
It is UV light because
Yeah.
that was my thought. Like if it happens to be sitting in a window or something.
Yes. Also, I think it was. This I'm not sure about. It's probably easier to get green glass than it is clear glass. So I'm assuming it is a traditional thing.
Oh. If it's impure, you can make it just green, probably too.
That's what
So
I'm
maybe
assuming.
if you don't have as like high of a quality, you can
Because
kinda just make it work.
green dyed glass has been around far longer than clear stuff, right?
Really?
At least, well, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Well, it's good. I mean, all glass is clear to begin with. It's just how clear can you get it?
Yeah.
How pure
So
can you
like
get
if it doesn't look that clear, you might as well just dye it green, right, to cover it up.
But for the bottling purposes, I think it is UV light.
That's an interesting question. Someone probably knows like the real definitive answer. We should have them comment or tell us what.
Well, because I think it started off for
Oh.
a practical reason, and then it just became an aesthetic thing. Eventually.
It turned into an aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
so good.
You good?
I'm sorry. It's just,
Yeah, this is good. This is
I
really
love
good.
Laphroaig.
Yum.
What is the proof on this one?
This
Is it 43?
Give me a sec. Yep, it's
43%.
43%.
Drinks like a
You know, the first time I
46.
had Laphroaig 10, it's actually a pretty good story.
All right.
nah, it's not a good story.
I was on a Valentine's Day with Hunter.
You guys smooch?
No, we didn't realize it was Valentine's Day, and we bought me tickets to go to a concert at the Dakota Jazz Club in Minneapolis.
Awesome.
So we drove over there, and we're realizing there's a lot of couples.
Wait, who'd you guys see?
That's the punchline. So we're like, man, there's a lot of people here. Like, seem like couples. There's not like a bunch of friends, just like couples. And then everybody's kind of looking at us, like kind of like weird at first, then being like kind of smiling, like, oh, look at them.
Nice.
so
Look
cute.
at
They're
them.
so
They're
cute.
so
Look at,
cute.
oh, atypical.
Oh, atypical.
And then we realized, like,
Oh.
crap, it's Valentine's Day, isn't it? We're just stupid because neither of us are in relationships.
We're sad.
and, and we,
One is the loneliest number.
we're at Dakota Jazz Club, which is a very romantic, actually really cool venue. I hadn't been there before either. And we saw Harmar Superstar.
Oh my god.
Harmar Super.
You saw
Harmar
Harmar.
Superstar Valentine's Day at the Dakota Jazz Club, just me and Hunter. And he gave a very classy thing because he made a point to not take his shirt off. Mostly. Because he's very known for taking his shirt off pretty quick.
And or a lot of other things.
Well, now.
Well, there he decided to class it up. So he just took off his tie and kind of undershirt a little bit. And that was the first time because we had a drink list. And I was like, I think that was when I was just getting into whiskey. Like I had a bunch of Ardbeg 10 at home. Or not. Yeah, it was Ardbeg 10 and a few other ones at home. And I was getting into it. And then I saw the laphroaig. I'm like, I haven't actually tried that yet. I'm going to get that. And I got it. It was really tasty. And right after I tried it, Harmar decided to do a cabana line. Hopped off the stage because we were actually pretty close to the stage. I mean, it's a small venue, so everything's kind of close to the stage. But we were right off the stage, and he reached his hand out to me and looked at me and said, "Come with me." And I looked at him in his eyes and hesitated for a second, and then said, "No."
What?
No.
The thing was, is I probably would have any other day, but that day I was having some gastrointestinal issues and had already visited the bathroom about 2 or 3 times at that point.
Oh no!
I didn't want to be in a cabana line causing problems.
Think about the story.
Brooklyn's just like gassing everybody else.
Yeah. What's a
it was
better
a little bit more than
story?
that.
You poop your pants on stage,
Yeah.
or you don't go on stage at all.
Yeah.
Come with me.
They ended up doing like a full-on like line of people just but he was singing some song I can't remember, but they were going through the whole club, and I was just sitting there sipping my laphroaig 10,
myself.
pretty happy with. No, I was
Yeah.
with Hunter. We were
Oh,
together.
never mind.
Yeah, you're together.
They were smooching.
We were smooching. That's why I felt encouraged that everybody was like so supportive of our relationship that was non-existent.
This is
There were a
my
couple
lover.
times where I like kind of just grabbed his hand and looked at him, and then he would just like look at me, like kind of like, "What are you doing?" And then he'd realize he just
Yeah.
started laughing.
He's like,
Yeah.
get off of
he just
me.
couldn't stop giggling
do
because
this.
it was so dumb.
Let's do this.
Look at me in the eyes.
All right. So
Sorry.
no, that's
So
fine.
we
That's
have
a
Laphroaig
great
10.
story.
Now let's try some.
Yeah, so
even
keep those
hopefully
try to
better.
keep the flavor in your mind. So I'm going to read this first. So this is Laphroaig Cairdeas, the 200th anniversary edition,
Oh my goodness.
from the master distiller John Campbell's vision of how Laphroaig was originally produced. So I'm going to read this paragraph. I took a photo of the tube that I has at home. So it's crafted Cairdeas, the finest malt from a floor malt tree, which used a cold smoke produced to something, I can't see it because of the light on this, unique peaty flavors into malted barley. We then distilled using only our smallest pot stills, the same type that would have been used over a century ago. Finally, we matured the liquid in our oldest warehouse, right next to the sea, Warehouse 1. Non-chill filtered, the result is a unique expression to be savored by friends of Laphroaig. Old and new, Laphroaig Cairdeas, friendship distilled. So
I
this
want-
essentially is
Cairdeas?
it's tried to recreate what Laphroaig was originally in 1815. Normally, a lot of most of the distilleries on Ardbeg or on Isla now use the Port Charlotte distillery to malt the barley, so they all source it from the Port Charlotte. This is barley that has been malted exclusively at the Laphroaig malting floor
Okay.
that they don't use really very much.
Right. They probably only make so much.
Right. So obviously you can see
It's different.
It's not a green bottle. This was released in 2015 that I found on a shelf for $73. This is selling for upwards of $200 on the secondary market.
Oh my.
Because, I mean, this is essentially the closest you would get to
Ye old whiskey.
Ye old
Zach is
Laphroaig.
sitting over here rubbing his belly.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to
like,
digest some good stuff.
So I posted a Reddit on this on my channel or on my posting and to the whiskey, or maybe it was the Whiskey Vault. And I'm like, what do you people think about this one? And most of the people on there said this is my favorite edition that they have released.
Wow.
And it has a high review on
Distiller. Yeah.
Cork pop.
Oh.
Nice.
It's already, it's already good.
It's already good. I'm starting off strong.
Made a good noise.
So this is a popular favorite.
Kapwap.
I mean, we speak about it so nonchalantly, but it's meant to be drank anyway.
Do not waste this.
Yeah, I'm looking for.
I was thinking about what glass I wanted to pour it in.
It's just weird to think how old whiskey is as a drink.
Good
you know?
Lord.
I mean,
So this is a non-age dated, but I had read things that in an interview, the master distiller said this was upwards of about 14 years old.
Carter, for reference, this tulip glass is smaller than those.
No, yeah, I know.
So even though it's up to this point, I think it's less than a lot of those. It's a superior tulip.
very evaporative on the nose. Like
Yeah.
it
seems
is
lighter.
alcohol.
It escapes. Well, like it's like it gets in my nose and then it like runs away from my nostrils. Literally, like it.
it gets in
It
and
ran
it
away from
runs
me
away.
that
Yeah, literally, like my nose hairs can't, like my whatever the follicles that are involved in detecting scents are like they can't smell it for long enough before it's gone.
So this is 51.5% alcohol, the 200th anniversary.
I thought you sounded kind of goofy when you said that, but now I understand what you mean.
Ooh, I got some on my hand accidentally.
And I want to eat my hand.
No, what you got to... No. We got to do the thingy.
The rubbing of the.
Has anybody actually tried this yet?
I don't remember.
There's a new bottle. Pretty light,
Light, airy.
airy. Let's go again.
Is it? It's different, but I'm trying to figure
very
out
light
how.
smoke.
I'm trying to figure out how it's
It's
different.
very light for Laphroaig. It is not as punchy in the face as the 10 was.
Well, this is they peated their own malt this time.
Did it not usually?
Dude.
No,
I got to
They
find
have
me
it
some of
sourced.
this.
yeah, it released in 2015,
I
so
gotta
it's already
find
6
some
years
of
old.
this. I'll find it.
They're very gentle. I like how it's not syrupy and it's not too oily.
It's interesting.
Very
How would you explain this to someone?
Less
how it's
dense.
different?
It's crisp.
Because it's different. Yeah,
to the
I would
Laphroaig-
say that.
to the Laphroaig 10.
And we just tried it. It's different. I recognize it's
Little
pretty
bit of
different,
menthol
but
on
I
the
don't
back
know
end.
how.
Kinda
Minty?
honestly-
Is it minty?
A little bit. I mean, honestly,
Menthol mint.
I think
kinda
they've-
thing. Yeah.
maybe this is a testament to what they have. If they think that this is an accurate representation of what their 1850,
That's like, what the hell are they selling the 10 for?
1815.
1815 production was, I think they've actually come a long way in their difference of flavors, in
This tastes nothing like the 10.
right.
I don't know if
think,
that's for better or for worse, but I don't feel like
well,
it really...
well, that's for better. I would
think
think
it
a distillery shouldn't taste exactly the same.
I think it's more medicinal.
More. I mean, this
So it makes you healthier, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it tastes like the drink that a doctor would give you to heal up and not feel the pain as much.
got the gangrenous.
Yeah.
This is the, what do they call that? The
Tuberculosis.
tuberculosis. No, the snake juice.
Snake oil.
Snake oil.
Snake juice.
Juice.
Snake juice is that,
It's from Parks and Rec.
no, it's, what do you call it? It's like a fasting thing.
Oh.
Snake juice.
It's a product this guy makes. It's just basically a bunch of electrolytes that you pour into water and you drink that while not eating any food.
Snake juice.
Random thought.
Snake juice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. It is good, but it needs more to be. I kind of like the Laphroaig. Just the Laphroaig 10 has more to drink, more to taste out of it. This just doesn't have as many flavors as the Laphroaig 10 has.
I think this is worth it from the standpoint that this is them trying to replicate.
Yeah, I think. I mean,
The
I
original.
wish I wish I was alive in 1815 to compare it to
Yeah.
You know, all I gotta say, I'm a laphroaig boy.
the Freud boy.
That's all I gotta say.
Okay,
T-shirt.
that's all he has to say. T-shirt right there, Freud boy.
I'm a laphroaig boy.
No,
Yeah.
for $70, this is worth it to me.
But you gotta spell laphroaig wrong, like I did.
with a Y or whatever.
No, he just replaced.
I
he switched the A and the O at the end,
Laphroaig.
or I should say the O and the A.
Laphroaig.
Laphroaig.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it lacks a finish because it just goes away. Like my mouth goes back to neutral very fast.
Really.
Yeah, like I start it. It's nice.
I would agree with that. It doesn't stay with you.
Yeah, and
It's there and it's gone.
Yeah, it's short. It's a short-lived sip.
It's 8% hotter.
Which is immediately what you did the first time you had it. You're like, I gotta try that again.
Yeah,
Because you tried it and you were sitting there trying to ponder it, and you're
Yeah.
like, I need to do it
I
again
need another drink.
because it's already gone. I can't taste it. Well, when you drink the Laphroaig 10, like you taste it for a while.
Yeah, I think that's the iodine flavor sticking in that 10. Because this isn't iodine-y. It's lighter, more. But Dylan said medicinal. I think that's the right word. I think that's the best way
Probably.
to describe it. Because I just can't think of adjectives like the word light that really nail it.
Because it's very flavorful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not
The mint is cranked up, it seems.
mint.
The finish is either buried by the mint or less so than the 10.
So
But it's
little bit of that
it's a
menthol.
very weird
Not as heavy menthol in the end, but
Yeah.
a little bit of that.
it's a very weird and enjoyable difference compared to the 10. And I'm hyped on the fact that the Laphroaig malted their own barley,
Yeah.
which they rarely do. I
this
don't
is
know enough to where, like, if they've done it after, or when how rare that is.
Yeah. I wonder what the cost was because they're not making it. Maybe they'll make it again, maybe, but they're not. They didn't continue to do this. Why not? Right? It was the process. So
I don't think they're set up for it. They could be turning this. Well, I mean, I think they have machine. They have there's a machine that does it, but like, it takes a lot of work to
Yeah.
watch that barley. So if you can have someone else do it and then source that in, makes complete sense. But
Yeah.
it's.
But I think the price is reflected in the extra labor and efforts it took to make it.
And I agree.
It's just that, maybe they stopped doing it because you said it's more work, and that's just it. It's just more work. They could upcharge more the way it is right now, the price that it was 5 years ago, but they still just don't want to do it because it was too much.
This bottle is it's exactly what it says it is. It's an anniversary edition. It's tradition more so than it is reflecting the flavor.
But they could really start over, go back to 1815 and make something new starting from here. This with their own malted barley, make a new line. Maybe not a line, a new special release. Don't be anniversary. Don't try to replicate it. Just start from here and make something completely different.
Make your own barley.
Yeah, but with the same principles of making their own barley and doing everything
modern
in-house.
Laphroaig with their own barley.
Right. Well, maybe not modern, just something a new take of what something Laphroaig has wanted to do, right? And maybe that's just representative with
Well,
what
that
they've
is
been
like
doing.
that. I mean, this is the cairdeas yearly release. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They'll do port finish, cast strength. They'll do other things. It is what the committee releases is to Ardbeg.
Yeah. But do they always age it in their first warehouse? Do
No.
they always mold their own barley?
No.
Right.
This is only for the 200th year.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They should take this old, call it Laphroaig old style, and keep changing it. I think that would be great.
I was looking
Personally.
up tasting notes for Laphroaig while you guys were talking,
Yeah.
and one that stuck out to me was Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
For the 10, maybe not for this one.
How in the 18 whatever this was made, how do they know what a Band-Aid tasted
They
like?
didn't.
Adhesive.
Glue.
That glue.
Horse.
That was one that stuck out to me. Which I guess iodine and some of these other ones should stand out, but for some reason Band-Aid, I just like laughed at that. I was like, who's like there licking Band-Aids being like, oh yeah, I know what this tastes like.
Just tastes like adhesive.
I'm
pleased with
These are my
that.
final thoughts with this laphroaig. Is ecstatic. I found it for $73. A bottle that was released 2015 on the shelf in 2021 that is commemorating the traditions of that distillery. They made their own barley. They don't do that anymore. And it's in their oldest warehouse, in their smallest stills, that they're trying to recreate something from 1815. That's amazing. That's the closest I'm going to get to tasting original product. That's really cool. That's why you're paying the $73.
Yeah.
It's
And
the
that's-
cool factor, the
yeah.
tradition, not because there's a drastic difference in the flavor from the 10 to this. There is a difference.
I wouldn't even call it drastic.
No, I wouldn't either. But there's a difference.
I would call it drastic.
Oh, you would call it. I mean,
I
yeah.
think Zach made the good point of like, it's not even necessarily that this is that good, right? Like we're running, and I've heard this in other stuff before. We're assuming old was good, right? We have this weird assumption of like it's really old, so it must have been good. But like we think about that they've had hundreds of years to perfect a process, so that maybe they've actually progressed. Where the 10 is like, yeah, this is what's good now, so this is why we're making it. There's a reason why we're making it, right? Like we kind of think like a Shelby Mustang from the '60s is cool, right? Like it's beautiful. It looks cool on a shelf, but when you actually drive one, you're like, yeah, this is slower than a Honda Civic. It drives like crap. It's crappy gas mileage.
Yeah.
It doesn't start in the winter, and you realize living with it on a daily basis is kind of crappy. Doesn't mean it's not bad, right? You still appreciate it, but it has its place, right?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
So
That's the classic muscle car of the Scotch world.
okay. Yeah. So
What's a Scottish car company? Has there ever been a Scottish auto manufacturer?
I mean, you have a few English ones, right?
Yeah, right. But I mean,
Citroen.
Scots. Isn't that French?
Yeah.
Citroen.
Mickey McHorse make breeders.
It's the people that invented golf carts. It's them.
It's them.
Scotchy McScotch face.
Yeah, I think Scotland has invented two things that are deserving of praise: golf and Scotch.
And they were like,
whiskey.
we're done.
Willie from The Simpsons.
Yeah, and that was about it. I mean,
Well, I don't like how you said that's it. Like, that was, like, not enough.
no,
I feel like they
listen,
did those two things, and we're like, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Society.
No, it's
think
good.
about it.
We
Well,
have contributed.
Yeah.
Sherry Scotch,
Yep.
Laphroaig.
Yep.
Cast
here's
Ardbeg.
the deal, though. Like, look up. I saw a picture of a Wikipedia article talking about
yeah, that's
major technology created in Scotland. And if you look at the dates from when Scotch was invented, there's a 300-year gap of when they invented a major technology that
Yes,
changed the world.
because they were
all
absolutely blitzed.
No. I mean, yeah, but no, they get that was
They're
the,
artists.
That was
they
the
were
jump.
invested in their
No,
art.
it was because in that year they made such a revolution that they didn't need to make anything different for 300 more years. That's what I'm saying.
because they
Like,
spent all their
'cause
time
it was so
fighting
significant.
the English.
Yeah, drinking and fighting themselves. It's like what was the Willie quote from Simpsons?
Brothers and sisters are natural enemies, just like the Japanese and Scots, or the English and Scots, or Scots and other Scots. That's great. Well,
All right.
I think our next logical step, Port Charlotte, and then working our way up.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we'll do that.
You need me to grab mine, or you got one?
I got it.
We got one.
Let's go fast.
Let's go. I think Carter's getting a little overheated.
I'm very hot.
Get a little tired. Get a little hot.
I'm hot and tired, and I don't like being hot.
I just love the Port Charlotte bottle. If I'm gonna give Bruichladdich anything, it's 10 out of 10 on marketing.
I don't like the bottle.
Presentation.
Oh, really? This is one of my favorites.
That's okay. You could be wrong.
I love how just generic and simple it looks. It's
What,
so it's
what
like
are
a jug.
these words you guys are saying?
Yeah, it's a cylinder.
Generic?
It's-
What is okay? Is generic? Let's look at these bottles.
Are you using your headphones to tell how close you are to the microphone?
You guys were complaining I was too far away before.
Uh-huh.
You use your microphone or your headphones.
I am.
Now he's too quiet. Now he's too loud. I mean, these
making a
are
point.
cylinders, right? The ones we've tried.
Cylinders?
That's a cylinder.
That is a
Exactly.
Thick, that's a thick boy.
Those all have the same shape, minus the Octomore. I'll give
No,
you that
no.
one because that one's unique. This one is also unique.
Yeah.
Those all have the same shape.
No, here's my
They're
complaint.
augmentations of the same shape.
You see this?
It's that
You
flute.
can't.
What was that?
My point is the Port Charlotte. I feel like you lose a lot of stuff due to the.
For not knowing how to pour a
See,
bottle.
no,
Small
no,
neck?
that's where you're wrong. Only because you notice there's actually a little rim on the Port Charlotte rim.
I just
that,
don't like
that
it.
grabs the glass.
not a
I didn't
fan.
use that.
You didn't use that?
No, I
Well,
went
then you're
past
pouring
it. Here,
then
I'll
you're
show
pouring
you.
it wrong.
No, I don't want to pour too much.
Because then if you don't pour it like that, then Dylan's right. He's absolutely right. Because it's so wide
Look at it. Look at how little he spilled. It was not.
No, he used the rim. He did
No,
it.
he didn't use the rim at
What are
all.
you talking about?
Oh, here. I mean, don't.
Oh my goodness, you guys are wow. I mean, drink as much as you want.
I was
but those
more
like,
focused on looking at the.
Yeah,
pour.
You guys
those
are
are
a
like-
bunch
this
of
is a-
alkies.
Those are like 3-ounce
This
pours.
isn't mine.
No, you can. I don't care. You can drink it. I'm just like, whoa.
No,
Okay.
I was pouring for the effect, not looking at.
I don't even
Yeah.
feel bad because I brought a bottle of this up to the cabin.
And my dad just
That's
Your
true.
dad
Took it
and
down.
Todd. I think it was Todd more than. I mean, your dad contributed. But I
They
think Todd,
polished it, didn't they?
good stuff.
I brought a bottle of Ardbeg drum and
Gone.
wait, it's I got like a quarter of it left.
Poor Charlotte's good.
Who texting Zach?
His mama.
My mom.
I knew it.
Yep. She's like,
She just wanted to
"Can
make
you-"
sure you're okay.
Yeah, she's like, can you please like come home now?
Really?
No.
Yeah, really.
She gets worried about you being out late.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we have to talk about that on this.
You should text her. When has Lane been home?
Yeah. Like, really.
Lane's still not home.
Lane hasn't been
not.
home for 8 years since he married that
What a
lady.
what a loser.
So the Port Charlotte.
Sorry.
Clean break. Now, Port Charlotte. All right, let's get into it.
Why is it clean?
Because it.
Editing.
I have no editing. Whoa! Oh, I thought you got bit by a mosquito. You're catching your
Headphones.
headphones are falling off your
Yeah, this
head.
is simpler than I remember. It's kind of just.
It's only 50.
Well, no, I guess, yeah. I meant like flavor wise, it's peat forward, and it's kind of it. There's more, but not a whole lot.
It's sweet, and I kind of always thought
Sweet
Port
peaty.
Charlotte was pretty sweet.
I like it.
I like the way how it leaves the
Where's the
tongue.
laphroaig tent?
I think it's over here.
I like it. I appreciate it. I'm at the same point where I've always been with this. It's kind of a weird. I don't know. I feel conflicted on it. I don't really like sweet things,
Right.
but I mean, is it sweet? I mean, for what it is in the category, yes. But
I don't know if it's been contributing because of the how much liquid is in the bottle and the shape of the bottle, but the vapor in this is very intense. It's like I'm not even that close to the rim of the glass, but it's attacking my nose and mouth.
There's a lot of whiskey in here right now.
Yeah.
That's another statement.
A lot of peaty whiskey.
Yeah. So anyway, it's it's not as great as I remember. I've always liked Port Charlotte. I mean, Dylan does too. It's just
I've always
simpler.
thought it was good,
yeah.
fine, great.
It's just simpler than I remember.
I remember it being better.
Yeah. Maybe it's because we've had some great selections. I mean,
Give
I like
me-
it better than the laphroaig tent.
Give
we
me
got some-
Octomore.
yeah, I do too. But we've had 3 unique whiskeys, and then we had a Laphroaig 10 and this. So
Laphroaig 10 is not as trash whiskey.
What?
what?
I shall
Anyway.
fight you.
Trash whiskey.
I
What
shall
else can we say
fight
about
thy.
this?
It's almost half the price.
I think it's got a strong scent.
Trash.
I think it's peat forward. Dylan said it's sweet. I agree, but it's a weird. It's no.
for an Isla Scotch, excluding Moonhaven and Bullmore because I have not had it. This is one of the sweetest peated scotches of that region. But yeah, and that's not really my thing. I don't really like sweets too much, and it's right on the edge of
Yeah.
that.
I guess I like the fact that because the smoke and peatiness is such a not sweet flavor to have that with the sweet. It reminds me of barbecue.
Yeah.
Like if you have that with barbecue,
Yeah.
like it's barbecue. You know, you got your sweet heat, right? You got your nice smoked meat with like that nice vinegary sweet barbecue sauce.
Yep. Yeah, I was thinking of food, but even before you started talking, food pairings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a dessert whiskey almost. It's something you can pair it with something.
The Port Charlotte.
Yeah, the Port Charlotte. Yeah,
I feel like that'd be good with a cheesecake.
I think there's lots of things this would be good with.
I just
which I don't-
specifically love cheesecake, and I'm
Yeah.
just now thinking of cheesecake, and I'm excited.
Cool.
Except
Anyway,
my dad didn't make any. I'm sorry.
That is definitely okay because I probably wouldn't have eaten any.
but these other scotches, I don't think they're pairing very well. I mean, I would have to spit like if I was a sommelier, it'd be really difficult to find a single entree to do those with or to drink those with. This one's pretty. Maybe that's why I like it so much, is I drank this with food, and it tasted better, or it made my experience more pleasurable.
I think out of the ones we've had so far, the Belvini is probably the best contender
I wouldn't put
for
that with.
pairing.
Really?
With a
Yeah.
steak.
It's clean.
It is.
I
clean.
think I might have liked the Belvini better than the.
Yeah, I think it tastes better.
But as far as
overall.
a pairing, I think the Belvini is probably the easiest thing to find a pairing to.
I would
Because it's
pair-
crisp, cleaner. It's not as oily as the Islas are.
I'd
But I
pair
don't
all of
want.
these
I
with
want.
steak.
I want something that will complement, not.
Yes, but
Yeah.
and
Like
that's
you
not
know
a
it's
takeover.
oily because
Yeah.
what I was
That's-
noticing on my glass is when I poured some of the laphroaig 10, there's a light coming down and reflecting through the glass, and I can see the viscous nature of the liquid as it's like just like-
evaporating.
no, it's coming down the glass,
Oh, I
and you could
see.
see it like how it's like almost like syrup,
Uh-huh.
like how you like molasses or syrup coming
Yeah.
down. You could see it, and that's how you just know how thick and oily it is. Versus if I do that same thing with like the Port Charlotte or the Belvini, you don't get nearly that much oil off of it as you do as the laphroaig.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
my 2 cents.
Yeah.
I like your 2 cents.
That's a physical observation as opposed to a sensory observation.
It's both.
Well, it's a visual instead of
I
like a
sense your
smell or
lack of
taste.
observation disturbing.
I'm using other senses.
I'm using all my senses. I'm using all 6 senses.
Wow. Well, this next one, I guess.
It's time for a showdown.
Are these the 2 different editions?
Yep, no,
Are
they're
two-
completely the same.
Dope.
They're identical. We're just having it twice.
I like it.
Wait, there's. I didn't know there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
All right, cork pop on the 11.1.
Yeah, we'll do this one later.
Okay.
No, I want to hear that one.
Oh,
I need
you
to hear them
gave
right
it
after each
away.
other. Just do
Well,
it.
That's a new one, so.
You gave it away.
Well, oh,
What'd I
okay.
give
We'll
away?
build the anticipation.
Everything.
I'm just going to have to pass it around again.
Unless,
I just want to put water in it so it cleansed it.
You've been cleansed in the waters of Lake
I don't know,
Minnetonka.
Dylan, pretty skimpy.
That's fair. I'd be skimpy on
I'm
me
messing
too.
with him.
Yeah, I'd be skimpy too if I.
Well, so you guys kept making fun of him for pouring too much in this other glass, but then I gave him the big glass and he barely poured anything in it.
I'd be skimpy too if I was pouring this.
So we made this observation before that specifically this one, this 11.1.
Well, we never tried them.
Not back to
together.
back. No. But we just, it was, I think, and we also stated this after we actually stopped the recording. But we were referencing how this Octomore is pretty much like, or, sorry, I should say Port Charlotte is like 80% of an Octomore.
I'm standing by the fact this is a cheesy Port Charlotte.
Cheesy.
This is cheesy.
What kind of cheese?
I believe
So
I said that in the last one that the Octomore is like a cheesed version of the Port Charlotte.
So I guess I don't get what the, I just don't know what cheesy or what you mean by the cheese. Because
it's cheesy.
It tastes
like-
like cheese.
It's like smoked
Okay.
Gouda.
cheese.
Okay.
It's an
Smoked
aged
Gouda.
cheese.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's smoked Gouda.
Ooh, dude. So I was
If you
on.
know, you know.
I know, but I was on TikTok, and I saw this thing.
This is way better. Shut up, Carter.
You shut
This
up.
is
a lot better.
not a comparison between Port
Port
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
It's actually, yeah.
More.
What? Say it again?
Port Charlotte's better.
Whoa.
I'm just saying that to make you mad. I don't actually think that.
Trying to gaslight us?
Bro. I
Yeah,
get
this is
gaslit
so-
every day. Dang, that's good.
5 years old, 59.4% alcohol. It is rated at 139.6 ppm peats per million. Yes, that is a measurement.
I thought it was parts per million.
Probably.
if it was just ppm, yes. But I think, I guess, what is a part of peat?
Pete.
per million.
Right, but
I think it's interchangeable. I think it's probably a play on words, right? Like,
yeah.
Well, ppm is a measurement. But
Yeah, they were saying parts
Yeah,
per million, but
parts
then
per
it's like
million.
tongue in cheek, Pete's
Right.
per million. Because it's a peated whiskey.
Uh,
I love the presentation. Like, by far out of all of them, 10 out of 10 out of marketing. The flat black bottle with the gloss black lettering, and then like a little bit of gold in there. That's nice.
makes you feel better when you realize that it's almost empty.
Is it?
So
The
this is
bottle's just
not-
that heavy.
it's a heavy bottle.
It's illusion. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, but so this is super intense flavor.
Oh.
You know, like it's burning. It's like it's a sustained chemical burn.
It
I
is
forgot
also 9%
how-
hotter.
I forgot
Right.
how high proof this is.
Yeah. And on the nose, smells super. It's the same comparison I made with the Port Charlotte. The vapors of whatever Bruichladdich I
Attacks.
swear it's stronger than like we did Texas whiskey before, and we did what was before that? I mean trip whiskeys and just generic. But high proof stuff isn't usually this intense on the nose. It can be, but this is an example of the highest intensity of the nostrils.
It attacks your nose.
Yeah, this is the king of Isla, as far as complexity and everything.
Well, I mean, we had the black arts. That's certainly the most complex.
Yeah, but I think this is the representation of Isla,
Yeah,
the peatiest,
the hardest hitting, Yeah.
most complex.
Yeah, because Black Art's like wasn't crazy peaty.
But it was also cast strength
Yeah.
at 45%.
Yeah, this is really good. I mean, it's phenomenal, really.
Wow.
I'm trying to, because it's got a great body. The finish is strong and it's sustained. I will say, it's not very complex in the sense that there's not a number of flavors I can pick out. It's just the flavor, the 1 and 2 flavors that it has is almost impossible to decipher. I mean, obviously smoke.
Personally,
obviously
It's
peat.
about as subtle as Mike Tyson, is what you're saying.
You know, I don't understand that.
It's
that
not.
idiom.
It's
but-
not subtle, but it's the greatest of all time.
I can't hear
Is this the goat?
That's what Dylan's arguing. He says it's the.
What, he
he's-
says the representation.
No,
of
No, he says
Isla.
it's the greatest of all time. Isla.
I said it was the king. It's on
King.
top.
Greatest
Well,
of all
yeah,
time.
that's kind of what.
But
goat
even a
would
king
be.
has representatives.
But I mean, if you're the king, you're still. That means you're above the
You're the goat.
representatives.
Yes, but you're not going to represent stuff.
You're the goat.
The representative is Lagavulin 16th.
right, probably. That's no. They're not the they're the spokesman. Yeah. They're the anyway. It doesn't matter.
They are the
Anyway,
jester.
but is this the greatest personal flavor profile for us that Isla can get? And I think I like the Trayvon more.
I do
than
too.
this. I think. Because it's been a while. And they're different whiskeys. So it's kind of hard to be like, compare them apples to apples.
If we're pulling out age, like if we're going after age statements, then
I mean, you said Isla, so it's...
no, I
anything's fair
know.
game.
Is there
I
an
know.
age statement on the Octomore?
5 years. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough because they're very different.
Yeah. Personally, I like this one more than the Alexander Murray that you have.
It's gone.
It's my bad. Sad.
Trayvon.
Rest in peace.
The Trayvon makes you have an emotional
Yeah.
reaction.
And that was... I mean, that's recorded. You can
So
go
I
back
was
and
the same.
listen to that.
I was the same way for the other one, the Alexander Murray, the Bunnahabhain 28.
Yeah.
That was insane too.
That one was magical for me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I think I like the Trayvon more than this.
this is
But just-
amazing. This is not emotional.
No, yeah.
That's
I
what the
think
difference is.
I'm trying so hard to pick apart some flavors, but really, if you buy this, you ought to just drink it in silence,
Yeah.
and just let it. Maybe that's what we should have done. Maybe is just we
Just
should
let
have
it
drank
wash
it.
over you.
Maybe the emotions would have come then.
I kind of think that's what we did when we had the Trayvon and the Alexander Murray. Is we just kind of like drank it,
There was a
and
lot
we
of
were just
silence.
quiet, and it was just like, whoa.
Because this is really good too. I mean,
Because you go and you hit the lip, and it's like whoopah.
smack the lip, then you just.
Duh.
So you're going forward now. So we're gonna try the 10.4, more proof, less peat, and less age.
2 years younger.
2 years younger and virgin oak. That sounds completely different. You know,
Yeah.
like it seems like these flavor profiles we're gonna try are gonna be way different. Which I guess maybe I'd hope for, being it's a different release series.
You know when that one came out versus the 11.1?
I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I wish I should have looked that up when I was doing just a little bit of research, because when we saw this, we had a couple options of Octomores to choose from, and I'm like, all right, which one should I get? I'm gonna buy one. Which one is the one to buy? And basically, I was looking at user reviews and critic reviews. I'm just
Right.
like, what's the most enjoyable? The one that I'm gonna want.
Quick, fast, dirty.
Quick, fast. Like, which one is just so great that maybe it's not as refined as the other ones, but just give me the good one. And that was this one, this 10.4. It has better reviews than your 11.1, but that's just a lot of people talking, you know.
Right.
And I love this, so I'm apprehensive and excited. So I think we should get into it. Let me rinse this glass out. Oh, that's intense. Brooklyn, what do you think? You haven't given much comment on the Octomore. You haven't even drank that much, really.
No, that's
Octomore's
his
good.
other glass.
Oh,
That's-
what's the other one?
I don't remember. It's
All
pretty
right.
good.
That was a laphroaig.
It's the Port Charlotte. Is
Okay.
What it is.
All right, fresh
Okay,
pop
Charlie.
on the Octomore.
Okay.
This was probably the most I've spent personally on one bottle. I spent the same on the third for the Black Arts,
Oh, yeah.
but this is the most I've spent on a single. So that was like a vacuum seal.
It had like a ring to it at the end though, like the.
So it's like what, 150,
Yeah, man. This one?
200?
It's actually that looks dark.
A little darker, but
180?
not a whole lot.
It's the Virgin Oak.
Virgin oak. This was 240.
It was more expensive. They had mine at the store.
I haven't even
For
spent
210 or 220.
Yeah.
Pretty close to what you spent, or you bought yours for.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait to smell it so you guys pour some.
I still haven't.
Be careful, my child.
That's a full bottle. That's a heavy one right there.
That is hefty.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
Brooklyn's got a $90 bottle of Johnny Walker Blade Runner
Yeah.
that you won't kill. It's been like that for like 2 years.
But is it at least open?
It's almost
empty bottle sells for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not empty.
And
How are you
the
going to sell
full
it?
one
Yeah.
sells for $600.
But you
Right.
don't have either.
Yeah. What you have is a worthless piece of glass.
The funny part is I'm holding a pretty full one to an almost empty one, and the weight doesn't feel that different.
I mean, we don't know the other one's almost empty. It's just
It's not almost empty, but it's pretty.
It's maybe
dented.
I
half.
feel like it's there.
It's
what?
dented.
But we only poured like
It's right there.
3 ounces, I'd say.
What? Here, we just gotta dump the whole thing out.
Yeah.
Here,
and dump
listen.
in. I
And
mean,
here's a full one. I don't want to shake it too much. 'Cause
glug glug.
I feel like it's here.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would say. It's not less than half.
It's like a little less than a third.
It smells meaty.
It smells meaty. That's good. I like meat.
You can use what the Virgin Oak does.
Yeah.
Good Lord, you just assaulted that bottle.
This one is much darker.
Oh my goodness. Dylan just gave it the kiss of life.
I mean, he just more assaulted it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a nice amber.
It's a little.
Way more flavor, way more amber. I feel like this one's gonna be more intense. I'm really hyped. Here, let me get some water in my palate.
Hype.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think this one actually might be better because it's oak more.
How much was that Unahaben? It's like 280.
260, 70.
That's the only one that I've thought about buying.
Yeah, so
Was
you and
close
me
to
are on the
price
same
of this.
page. Or like we thought that one was like that was the.
That was like I every
Pinnacle.
time I go to Total Wine and I see it on the shelf, I just kind of sit there and look at it for a minute, and I think about it, and I'm like, nah.
Yeah. So you're talking about barbecue pairings. I'm getting a bit of meaty barbecue here. You know, that caramelized sugar kind of thing.
This is just off the smell.
Off the smell. Yeah.
It smells like pork rinds.
Yeah,
See,
like pork.
I interpret that
Something
as
like
cheese.
cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, what kind of cheese?
I don't know.
Like
Brie.
hard cheese or soft cheese?
Hard cheese.
Okay. And
Cheddar.
sharp cheese or mellow cheese?
Mellow.
Okay. Yeah.
A smoked.
Yep.
cheese,
I got you.
yeah.
I got you. Because
Is Gouda soft or hard?
It's the
Gouda's
soft. Yeah.
Soft Gouda. Smoked Gouda.
I just love smoked Gouda so much. You ever smoked Gouda with eggs?
No, but it sounds
Interesting.
delicious.
That's my favorite. Nothing better. A little bit of ham, smoked Gouda, over an egg, on a croissant. Zach almost looked offended. It's my live observation. Of what, I haven't even tasted it. I'm just watching Zach's reaction.
That's
I can't tell if it's
hot.
better.
It's hotter.
It's got a weird caramel. You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Some of the Texas whiskeys.
Really? Yeah. A little bit.
The oak impact.
Yeah.
This is better. I'm
Oak
sorry.
Impact. I don't know.
I can't tell.
I do think it smells a lot better. Personally.
Oh!
But this one doesn't start off as good as yours does.
No, it's a roller coaster, man.
It's a
There's
better.
so many things at once.
It's a
And
better
then
finish.
It's so
Yeah.
hot on the finish, but like in a good way. It's like flaming hot Cheetos, and you just want
I
more.
don't know if it's a better beginning.
No, it tastes like bourbon almost. I love it. It's
Yeah.
so woody.
Yeah, I don't think it's a better beginning. I think the color gave it away. It tastes darker, more amber.
It does.
Obviously because of the virgin oak, and it finishes.
Is the other one not?
No.
No.
The other one is.
Oh, this one's so much better.
And this is also a little.
You wasted your money.
This is a little longer lasting. But
That is a strong statement.
What was the alcohol content?
this is 63 and a half. It's 4% more. 4.1. And
Better.
you can taste it a little.
I could see why people would like this more than the other one.
Yeah. This is a consumer friendly version because it's
Don't know if I like the oak impact as
Yeah.
much.
I love it.
because this also
I'm an oak boy though.
yeah, you're oak boy.
Okay, boy.
I was saying how the other one acidifies the tongue. It's like a chemical burn.
Yeah.
This one's not a chemical burn.
This
but
one's
it's
just getting hit by a 2x4.
yeah, it's hard. And like,
I like-
the middle of my tongue it's acid. You know,
I might take
a flask.
a flask. That was the word. Look, I just did hand signals. I didn't even really do hand signals. I just held up my hands. And Zach knew I was saying flask. I would take a flask of this into
Oh
the
boy, I
woods.
added a little bit of water to it. That was the key.
The key. Well, we should have done that with the other
That's
one. What
the
were we thinking?
key.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would take this into the woods and just like have it in a flask, and that would be so relaxing and nice. You'd be like, yes, it's all the flavors.
Yeah, it's a good flask whiskey.
Yeah, this is a nice punch. Yeah, flask because it punches you, and it tastes really, really good.
You don't need a lot of it to get you there.
The water gets rid of a little bit of the tanniny.
The punch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't end up. I poured some water in mine too, but it doesn't end up as smooth or as gentle as yours, even with water.
I kind of think which one's more complicated. I'm kind of leaning towards this one might be more complicated.
I think
Well,
that one. I think Dylan's is a little bit more complicated, but I think I personally prefer Zach's.
I'm the other way around. I think this is more complicated.
Really?
Just because there's more density to get to.
If I
when
had
you're
to buy
tasting it.
one,
But I like that
We're
one.
not there yet.
I like that one a little more, the 11.1 than the 10.4.
I
Just because that one's more well-rounded.
they're different. They're completely
They
different.
are different.
They're as different as the 11.1 is to the Port Charlotte. And that was drastic. The 11.1 to the 10.4.
Completely.
Yeah.
so do you like that they're so different?
I do. I appreciate that.
I guess because I like we were just given so many accolades to that 11.1. I wish mine tasted more like that, But I'm not dissatisfied with how it does taste. I think this is actually almost just as good in a different way.
It's
Kudos.
left field and right field.
Kudos
Yeah.
to Bruichladdich for nailing it in two different ways. Also, Bruichladdich, just get rid of black arts and just start doing more of these. Like, if you could focus your Octomore presence in the common market.
Well, with the Black Arts is unpeated,
Right.
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
not the same. It's not the same.
I know, but it's just better. This is better.
Yeah, it is. Peated whiskey is better.
Yeah. So, in conclusion, Laphroaig is doing a great job. Ardbeg doing a great job. Bruichladdich doing an amazing job. Scotch is the best.
Scotches.
Scotch is
Number
superior,
one.
just like I said at the beginning.
Yeah.
Although it is funny that my favorite Scotch of this bunch is the one that tastes the most like a bourbon.
Yeah.
Perhaps. But, I mean,
Ooh, cinnamon.
all whiskey,
Do they make peated bourbons? Has anyone tried that?
Somebody does.
peanut bourbon.
I think there's
No,
a new,
Peated.
Peated,
Oh,
sorry.
peated, yeah.
I believe there's a New Mexico brand that is using
Would that work?
mesquite to
Oh.
to malt the corn,
Malted corn.
not malted.
Smoked
No,
corn.
no. Well, smoked corn. Yeah, that would be probably the right context. But
Because you're not actually malting it because it doesn't malt like a barley, but
Yeah.
you're doing the same process.
yeah, same
Trying to
process.
infuse the flavor of the smoke into
Yep,
it.
you can smoke corn, and there's a number one, but the New Mexico one, I forget the
When you
name.
said you could smoke corn, I just imagine like a guy with like a roll and just throwing some corn kernels in it and rolling it up and then lighting.
This is just so different. This is so brown sugar cinnamon for that oak.
Which is weird because, I mean, those are the words we use for bourbon.
That's what I mean.
every
That's why I'm
time.
like, it's a bourbony
Every time.
Scotch, which is why I love
It
it.
ends
Yeah.
like a
It's
Texas
great.
bourbon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It-
weird.
It tastes like the Garrison at the
Yeah.
end.
Fun. That's fun. I like that bottle. I like
Interesting.
both the Octomore bottles equally in different ways.
Do we want to talk about? We kind of hinted towards it at the beginning of the podcast. That Scotch, the Isla thing. we were
Doing
referencing.
that would just be. I think that would serve as an intro for itself.
Right.
Better.
I feel like that one just starts off so like sweet and smooth, and then it punches you in the face with peat.
Which one?
The one we just poured with,
Yeah.
the 10.4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you think you're drinking a bourbon, and then it's like, just kidding,
Just kidding. A Scotch.
and then like sucker punches you with the Scotch.
I feel like it's the
peatiness.
opposite.
Really.
The peat comes up front, and then it ends with the bourbony
Oakiness.
Oakness.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
Hard. It's hard to say because when you said it, I'm like, yeah, totally. And then Dylan said, it, I'm like, oh wait, yeah, totally.
I guess maybe it's just
Great.
where it hits your tongue
Yeah,
first.
great
right?
melding. Great
Yeah.
melding together. Carter, which
Chicken or the
which
egg?
one is your favorite of the Octomores? Actually, you know what? The whole thing. Which one do you like the best?
the whole shebang.
Yeah. Like, just personal preference.
Laphroaig 10.
Really?
The Laphroaig 10?
I love Laphroaig.
You thought that was personally? You thought that was
the
more?
best? I really like
How
Laphroaig.
everyone's personally
Yeah.
offended.
We're like,
by
whoa.
that.
Well, I mean, I am a little offended. My wallet's offended, but at the same time, I respect your opinion because I also like the Freud.
I think it's the best value.
Belvini
Yeah.
is by
The
far
best.
better than Laphroaig.
I like
I think it's like the Octomore you
The
poured,
Laphroaig is better than the Laphroaig. No, I'm kidding. But
the Belvini. No, I think it's your 10.4.
what should we watch?
Sorry.
We should say what are we walking away with? What's each of
Oh.
us walking away with?
I mean, in real life, Port Charlotte. But like, if
No,
money
you
wasn't
just
an
you just
object,
picked one. They're on the table.
they're on the table. The money, no object.
Yeah.
If you pick one, probably Zach's. I think, just because it's most interesting. It's got a lot going on.
yeah, I'd pick.
Yeah,
I'd pick.
I'd pick Zags.
I'd pick the 11.1 myself.
I'd pick the 11.1.
Yeah. It's pretty close, but it
You guys
just
can be wrong. It's okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it's okay to be wrong.
All right. So 11.1 and 10.4 are literally equally tied as far as
But
personal
completely
preference.
different.
I love how different they are.
Yeah, that was great.
Well,
Good
that's
job.
almost
Good job,
like
Bruichladdich.
weird to like. And I mean, obviously, it's marketed to like you have to be like a real big
Kinda-
whiskey guy
yeah.
to even think about buying a bottle like that, right?
Yeah.
But then the fact that like nobody knows that if you buy that one versus your one, they might like kind of think they're the same thing, and they're not at all the
They're
same.
so
thing.
meta. They're so meta.
They're just like
Big
moving
meta
around.
boy.
All right. I mean, we said it enough times, so that will conclude this episode. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode of the Extraordinary Gentleman Podcast.
Big meta boy.